Hey guys, it's me, Kevin from the Strictly Broken team. And if you weren't aware, before I actually joined the Strictly Broken team, I was a content creator for Wild Wild Weiss, and back there, one of my most popular videos were the English power ranking videos. And now that I'm on Strictly Broken, I'll be bringing that here instead. Usually, it would just be a video, not an actual stream. But I've been lazy and procrastinating making the video, so I decided to just do the recording on a stream and just focus on editing it later for the YouTube videos. As you can see down below, you can see all the comments from the chat, so you can see their reactions as I unveil this power ranking. With me, we have my guest, Jason Malik, who's also part of Strictly Broken. We probably won't be talking. He probably won't be talking as much at the beginning, but after we finish this video recording, then you'll hear more from him.
Yeah.
So what is a power ranking video? So power ranking is basically like instead of having like tier lists where you're tiering each set, you have a linear growth of which set is the strongest, and they're based on a specific metric system. For this metric system, I actually surveyed a bunch of well-known players, people who either went top 8 in the recent Springfest Online event, who are part of a professional team, and or content creators, or some people who are just like super well-known in the community, like Mr. Riaz Muhammad, who did not hit any of the box before, but he's a two-time world champion, so kind of have to add him.
No.
So America's Chilean's Okay, when I read this. Alright, so going off, we have our player survey. So as I said, we have a bunch of people. Some people decide to add their team name. So you can see like Brandon and Colton from the Clock Tower. I think I saw Kaiser in the chat earlier. And we have like people from Strictly Broken, people from Burn One, people from WCC, people from ENTCG. You got NA champion Hikago Samuel.
Yo, Sam.
And you also have me, because I'm part of Strictly Broken, and I actually went top 8 in the NA Springfest. So our sets included in this power ranking, because I do not want to have people voting on like 20 additional sets that are kind of irrelevant in the meta. So I decided to curate the list of sets I want to survey. So these sets included every set that got reps, at least 5 reps in the BSFO, and any known sets to be released after BSFO. So for the old sets, we got Adventure Time, Attack on Titan, Bang Dream, Both Free, Day Alive, Fate Stay Night, Fate Grand Order, Goblin Slayer, Konosuba, Love Life Sunshine, Magia Record, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Bunny Girl Senpai, ReZero Memory Snow, That Time Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Sword Art. And then for the next sets that'll be coming after Springfest was Kaguya, Data Bullet, Bang Dream, Mushoku, Quintessential Quintuplets, Rental Girlfriend, Slime, 7 Deadly Sins, and Sword Art Alicization Volume 2. We did not include Ruby or Tokyo Revengers or Hololive because we do not know their full set list yet. And for 2 of those, we don't know any cards yet.
I mean, Tokyo Revengers wasn't even announced when this was happening.
Yeah. As you can see, for our big sponsor, you can order cards from these sets from Strictly Broken TCG. I think it's sbtcg.ca now. Whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, so starting off our list, we have at 24th place with 49.78 points. We have Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. We'll now call it Albuda for short, because that's how people say it for short. The main deck that people play is the Standby Door variant. This set used to be really strong back in 2019, mid-2019 in Japan, but this set never had the same success in English. As you can see, one of our prime cards is the 3/2 Bodyguard, Rio Futaba. She's just massively big, and it's pretty annoying in the meta. She actually made a stance where a lot of decks actually got a card and play bouncer printed just to answer this card. But now, as you see, it's not 2019 anymore, so now it's dropped way down below. To be fair, it's made finals on every paper regional since it came out. Yeah. But unfortunately, I think 2 years has passed now, and you probably will not see its same success once online physical play happens again. Jason, any comments?
This deck sucks. Don't play this. You're actually just griefing at this point.
Back then, they had an early play that was okay power level. It was A5
Kaide was kind of OP.
Yeah, she was actually pretty strong, but nowadays she cannot contest standby boards. So it's now a problem. Alright.
Futaba can't even contest things that much anymore.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. How the board meta has progressed.
Yeah, with all the Miyuki EPs and stuff, right?
Yeah. Alright, next on our list we have ReZero Memory Snow Focused. This is one of the sets that we weren't sure if it actually had a full 5 representation, because Bushiroad mixed both ReZero, Memory Stone, and regular ReZero. This set came in 23rd place with 52.79 points. The most popular build is the Book level 1 and then to a Pants level 3. It's unsure. People play Emilia, some people play Ram. It's up to people that want like a healer on top. This set is known for its anti-capabilities, the Floodgates. They have a anti-burn 1 as you see on the screen, and they have a sort of an anti-standby card that reduces powers of your opponent's board whenever they summon a character during the climax or attack phase.
Yeah, except too bad this deck itself can't actually get over things that are like 7k power.
Yeah, the combo only hits 6-5.
And you put like no power pumps realistically or anything, so like 7k 7-5 is like unclimbable.
This set's known for a strong level 0 lineup, but everything else about the set's pretty mediocre at best.
Yeah, the double 0 is pretty sick. Mayo Man's pretty dope too, though.
Alright, next at 22nd place with 54.77 points, we have Fate Grand Order. Everyone plays the standby Dord version. We have the standby level 1 Ereshkigal and the level 3 Ishtar. This deck is known for its ability to snowball at level 2 if they have a 2/2 Gilgamesh on board, being able to constantly win lanes and get free stock. But unfortunately, Gilgamesh is probably not as strong as it once was. Because it's not like Kakaitis back in the Overlord.
Yeah.
This card cannot win its lane as often as the meta used to let it be able to.
Not getting the free stand is also pretty big deal, I think.
Personally, I think level 0, level 1 lineup is pretty also mediocre. Like, it's pretty weak. All your advantage is straight to your 2/2s and your standby targets.
Yeah. Getting the level 1 combo that like mills and pluses is nice though.
But it only swings to 6k sometimes, and there isn't too many power pumps in the set, so sometimes it's difficult to get reverses.
Yeah, you get forced to standby out like the
1k
global 1k or something. Yeah.
Which is not standbying out your 2/2.
It's true.
Alright, at 21st place with 57.58 points, we have Rental Girlfriend with the standby choice variant being the popular choice amongst people. This set's known for being the whole Sumi package. This package allows you to get a +4 at level 1. And then with that, you can facilitate your hand to bring out this powerful Sumi early play healer. She gains a lot of anti-backups, hexproof. She gets really large, especially since there's a back row that pumps...
13k, let's go!
Yeah, you get a back row that pumps all your Sumis 1/5, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's assist 1/5.
Oh, assist 1/5.
Assist 1/5, encore phase drop, and then it's rest give 5.
Yeah. So
like your whole deck is Sumis, so...
Yeah, so the whole deck is revolved around powering up this giant-ass Sumi. And then you have the choice finisher because it's probably the cheapest top in out of the bunch. Like,
yeah, the choice helps to facilitate like free fresh looping, and it's like super cost efficient. I think this deck is unjustly rated personally. I don't think it's like super high comparatively, but it's like bottom 4 is sad.
Yeah. But
Sumi's a pretty cracked early play, but
that's basically
what can you
it
do?
for the set, right? Just the Sumi. It's all
Literally
around
the
the
Sumi.
Sumi.
It's all front loaded in the Sumi stuff. Nothing else in that set matters.
Yeah. But Sumi cannot carry the rest of the game. It only carries mid game.
It'll carry my game.
All right.
Wait, there's the Sumi Icy Tail too, though. That card's sick.
All right, 50. So you actually see this is like only 0.05 more than Rent a Girlfriend. But at 20th place with 57.63 points, we have Magia record. They're known for the choice door combo, but the door is actually an empty door just for the trigger. This deck is known for its ability to brainstorm multiple times at level 2, build up stock, and then use that stock to refresh and heal yourself down. It's basically just a heal spam deck, but it's not really a memory deck. It gains some memory, but it's not enough to really call it a memory compression deck.
It gets to like 2.
Yeah, but your whole shtick is just to get double early play healers and 1 refresh that hits 12k onto the board.
And you just loop refresh and heals every turn. It's
Yeah.
good when it's good, but
When-
then anytime it's anytime it gets rushed a little bit, the deck just collapses.
Sometimes you whiff too many brainstorms.
Yeah, you waste the brainstorms, it's all over. You just stop your turn.
Yeah, then your brainstorm heal loop chain kind of falters and dies. Alright, at 19th, we have Bofuri with 57.95 points. Now, this is a special set because it has 2 distinct builds that were rated as the best build for Bofuri. So first, we'll talk about the 8 standby build. This is basically just like an 8 standby version of Fake Grand Order. But instead of having an actual finisher, you trade it off with a -0 counter. This plays a more defensive style compared to FGO, but its ability to pump out level 2/2s and get a bunch of resources off free stock is much more consistent compared to FGO.
Yeah.
That's what
the cutest with 8 standby is pretty significant.
Makes it that you can actually reasonably see your 2/2s out,
You can-
multiple
yeah.
2/2s out at level 1.
So if one gets answered, you don't also feel as bad because they're easy to put back on the board.
Fortunately, there's some mention of two soul build, but not enough to contest how many people ask for a standby or 8 book. For the 8 book build, I don't think anyone really plays it actually, besides Carmen. But this did have a popular article from a player named Milk Tea back in Japan. He raised about this deck. This deck is basically just good stuff. You have a consistent level 1, a consistent top end that heals. Its most notable card is the 1/0 level down character. When you play, you can choose one of your opponents level 1 or higher, and then they have to change it to a level lower character. But aside from that gimmick, this deck doesn't really do a whole
It's super
bunch.
vanilla.
Yeah, it's just the most consistent.
Did Milk Tea
version.
even rave about it? I thought he just like said, yeah, this is just probably the best way to play this deck because the deck is so flimsy with like every other build.
Yeah, probably.
This is at least like solid foundation. Which I mean, it is. It's just boring as dirt.
Pretty sure I've seen more success with 2 sold than 8 draws in English. That's probably the case. But English was also the meta that raved about 2 soul Sunshine.
It had its merit, dude. It had its merit. There was a point.
Alright, next on the list we have at 18th place with exactly 60 points.
no, it's
we
Sam.
have Bang Dream. This build is the good old Christmas Cosme into Mocha build. This does not include the extra booster set. That list will be further down on this power ranking. Spoilers. But as you can see, Christmas Cosme a consistent loopable combo into a cheap top end with Mocha. The set's also loaded with the ability to stock swap your opponent and use a Fumio, which you do not see in Japan because they have the ban list. But the main downfall with Bang Dream currently is that all of its good level 0 utility cards has been restricted to specific bands or colors. So your your generic utility cards is actually very, very bad currently. But
Yeah,
extra
I
booster
don't-
will fix that.
I actually just think this deck literally just got crept out by like every deck above this kind of just doing everything better. Like I don't think this deck is like bad by any means. It's just super underwhelming, I guess.
There's also the fail case where sometimes your Christmas Cosme or the events are stuck in the bottom of your deck, and now your whole level
True.
1 to 2 play is basically hindered.
Cost me PR in English, please.
Alright, at 17th place, big shocker. We have Attack on Titan with 62.55 points. This set used to be a nightmare in English. Back in 2018, you see every person bringing out Attack
Basically
on Titan.
Central East.
Yeah, but
Even in 2019, like
Worlds.
regionals.
Yeah,
Not even like worlds, like regionals. This had like so many tops that year.
I think
Yeah, or
yeah.
BCSs, whatever.
On my first power ranking video, this deck was actually first place on that list, but now it's dropped down all the way down to 17th place. But besides from that, the most notable thing about Attack on Titan is his powerful level 1 combo. Aaron, has the ability to, if you do get a reverse, you can salvage a movement gear. Yeah, omnidirectional mobility gear from your waiting back to your hand. And this gains like the Obo effect to bounce back to your hand when it gets fronted attacked. If you use a gear, you can also move one of your characters during your opponent's turn. So you can move them to the back row or move them into a lane that has already been attacked if it's empty. And it also provides you a search. So you have high... all your utility is mainly on your level 1. So you actually don't have any utility at level 0s. It's also known for its top end. But that top end actually got power crept by a set we'll go over later.
Woo. Making one of the best finishers even better.
Yeah, but one of the big downfalls to this set is its inability to recover with good triggers because it has a win and split soul. Sometimes you just lose to yourself because it's the same thing with Cosme where you don't find errands or you don't find the events until further down into your deck, so you don't get much advantage out of your combos. Or in general, because you're on reverse combo these days, you might not find reverses with this whole standby meta that's going on right now. Those are the problems with Attack on Titan. Alright. At 16th place, we had Goblin Slayer. Or standby build. Now, there's one person who has shown the light of this deck over the past year during COVID. Won't name names, but I think most people should know him in the community.
King.
But I think even during BSFO, after Day of Life came out, he also swapped off this deck. So, this deck was powerful before. You had a powerful level 1 combo that will honestly... that could threaten board. You had the 2/1 Cowgirl that also helped you protect your board very easily. But now boards have become way too big, and it has pretty much.
There's also just better hybrid standby decks too.
Yeah.
And like a Goblin Slayer being 7k like just doesn't matter anymore.
What was once a powerful deck probably will not see much play in the future.
Sad.
Another notable thing about the set is it has strong counters, but those counters rely on you consistently winning board, consistently keeping up
when
hand.
you do though,
yeah,
the heal event and the bounce event are so good.
So if you're facing a 1k1 deck that does not answer your board a lot, you can probably find success with this deck.
Yeah, really good at snowballing its advantage. It still is. If it gets there, it just takes it and rolls with it.
Alright, at 15th, we have ReZero, but not Memory Snow this time.
I love this deck.
Quite low, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But most of these sets in the 70 points range are actually really close to each other, where they're only like 1 or 2 points off from overtaking like 2 or 3 sets. The most popular build is the Book Bar build, focusing mainly on Amelia and Puck. This deck is a memory compression heal spam deck. Before you had a snowball early play version with the Book Stock Soul, but then since the meta has become more top heavy with the board based decks, it became really hard to actually gain a snowball advantage off of that. So that's why ReZero instead chose to become a memory compression deck where they play different early plays to contest these big boards, but you won't be able to snowball as hard as you used to be able to. Set's still noticeable to have one of the best anti-change counter in the set, so that's also another tool they can use to help win boards. I know Jason here was actually a big ReZero player back in the day.
I love this deck. I still love this deck. It's just like Kaguya makes this deck kind of sad. But I think this deck is still rated like really low. I think it partly comes to like the lack of like real events and stuff since it's come out for it to like actually do anything, and then I don't know, just people are just pretty low on it, I guess. I feel like ReZero was always one of those decks though where like I feel like when I talked to most people they were pretty low on it, but it would still end up doing well.
All right, that's good. Next at 14th place, a set that has yet to be released in English, but will be in 2 months from this video. We have the quintessential Quintuplets at 14th place with 72.94 points. Their notable build is the bar choice, where you play a good stuff early game into a powerful top end that has one of the strongest capability of killing people. Now, aside from that, the deck doesn't really have too much special going on early game. It has a lot of good utilities, but nothing that really stands out. The only thing that stands out in this deck is the top end, but even the top end has a risk playing it, where since the top end does not heal, sometimes you just have a game where you can't actually kill your opponent because you're super far behind. And then now since you don't have the healing, you have potential just dying if you don't kill. It's an all or nothing type of combo.
Yeah, its kill potential is really high though. I also just think that this deck is just like one of the only decks in English with a JC, right? It's like this Madoka. Not counting.
Sora will have it soon. And Batman, yeah.
Oh, well, Sora already has it, right? Cardinal's already out. Oh, you still have you'll have the other one too. Of the Integrity Knight one. But this is like a more like generalized JC, where like I don't know. This like the ability of this deck to loop level like consistently loop level 1 combo and then like just snowball into like this like, really scary top end is still really strong. I also feel like this deck is rated a little lowly. I do think it's like pretty poorly positioned versus like all the board based things, because if it can't win lane at level 1, it feels really bad because then you never get to resolve JC. But I don't know. I feel like the top end just carries it enough that it can get there like more often. But we'll see when it comes out, I guess.
Yep, comes out pretty soon. Also, Log Horizon has JC.
Shut up.
All right, at 13th place we have the newly added English original set, the 7 Deadly Sins, with 73.08 points. This set basically has a similar core in both decks, but you can choose between either playing the Door level 1 or the Choice level 1, based on what the surveyees has answered. This deck is known for its Floodgate top end, where Meliodas, he's 11k that can get 13k cross turn with the CX, and has the effect where if it gets fronted you can pay 1 burn 2. But him himself is not that special. Is the Elizabeth 2-1 assist that buffs him a lot. That assist gives him an extra power, like 3k extra power. Gives him hexproof so your opponent can't bounce him or flicker him, and gives him the ability to make his lane have anti-burn. So that's the biggest draw to send this. And outside of that level 3 top end, the set doesn't have too much to offer. It has a lot of good stuff, but nothing special.
A lot of really good, like generically good profiles, right? Like it took like DeCapo's Hazuki back row, it took DeCapo's clean cut, Aqua EP, and it just like took all these like super solid profiles, just stuffed them in the deck. It's just I think it's kind of like, to me it feels like the opposite of like Adventure Time, actually. Where like I feel like, well, we'll talk about it more when it gets to it, but like
It's
I think this deck's support cards are really good, but the actual like cores are like pretty mediocre.
Until you hit level 3.
I don't even think Meliodas is good. Like I really don't. I think he's like a pretty stinky card.
For what reasons?
He doesn't, his finishing power is like super awkward because it's delayed, so it gives your opponent agency to actually like figure out ways to play around him or like set up unfavorable situations for him, which I think is like a pretty big detriment. It is very stock costed, I think, where like you have to be able to field triple Meliodas plus an Elizabeth, I think, to actually have a real board. But even then, if they have any sort of removal for the Elizabeth, then it doesn't even matter that you field the triple Meliodas, because then all you have is a delayed burn 2. Which is like, you know, if you can hit your cancels and stuff, you're sick. But like, I feel like the big appeal to Meliodas is actually the anti-burn as well, making it so it's harder to kill you. But if they can just like bounce your Elizabeth or whatever, or like, you know, level down Elizabeth, then they can just burn you at their leisure and it doesn't actually matter. And the chance that you die is pretty high. And if Meliodas gets answered, because he becomes only like a 13k, which becomes relatively answerable in like multiple lanes, I think. You basically burn all your resources and can't really recommit board because you already played down your healers. So I think he's like has a lot of downsides.
Right, good
it's just that you play towards that. You know, you play towards that like really oppressive board, and like sometimes you get there.
Good observation, Jason. Right, on to the next set. At 12th place, we have Love Live Sunshine. The Stockso door build at 73.11 points, citing this only had 3 points more than 7 Deadly Sins, actually. This set was actually got 2 top 8s in all 3 of the BSFOs, Springfest Online. Both of them piloted by well-known Australian players. In Australia, they really respect this set more than the other regions. This set's known for its level 2 board. Yo plus Rico is a very formidable board where you constantly have a extra bit of damage starting from level 2. Rico is also has a very strong card that lets you filtering handle every turn, so that's what it's known for.
Now,
but since it does not have its extra booster sets or the 6th anniversary set that Japan has, the set is very power crept to the level 0 lineup, but you still play tap 2 brainstorms. They don't have any good drop search or anything. No Ricky.
On Death Clock Ricky.
Yeah, so it's really bad.
Ricky, on Death Clock Ricky, yeah.
Really bad at level 0. But once past that point, the set can get going pretty hard.
Once you're level 2, all that matters.
Some downfalls for the set. Your level 1 combo being a bomb means that a lot of time you have open lanes yourself, so you can be actually pushed quite far into level 2. But the level 1 bomb is actually really good currently in the meta, in my opinion, because there's a lot of like 1-1s in the set in the current meta, mainly Data Live. But you can get reverses on 1-1 still.
Just I don't know. I feel like you just end up trading. Like, is that good?
I personally think it's pretty good.
Because my issue is like, Standby wants you to open lanes, right? Because they want to make up the damage deficit that they're not getting early on. And then you're crashing board into 1-1s that they're probably just going to hand on core because it gets in the lanes. Or like, you know, maybe you kill one of them, but then they promote their dudes or whatever. They're just giving them the free lanes. They're willing to take that, I feel like.
But I think it's better than a lot of older set, because this is a set that hasn't had support for like almost 3 years now. So compared to those decks, it's much better. So it has stood its time, I think. It is a combo that's...
It is holding on, for sure.
Yes, that's more holding on. Aside from that, another downfall of the set is that you can actually play around its level 2 board. You can get them into situations where they cannot actually early play. But that's like it. But we saw two of them top at BSFO, so maybe we'll see more of this in the future. Bushy Rumble Online, the next tournament.
I think you'll keep seeing this. I also think it's just because like the people that like this deck really like this deck, so they're like gripping it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Chikayo is really scary.
Unfortunately,
they will just win you games.
Unfortunately, we'll probably never see support for a set.
That's okay.
Okay. Alright, next we have Konosuba, surprisingly at 11th place with 73.78 points. The most notable build for it is the Door Pants build, where you're constantly looping your level 1 Megumin combo, being able to grab your CX again thanks to the Pants trigger, as well as the... what's it, Kome? The Darkness level 1 that they got in the movie set. This set's always known for its very threatening capabilities to kill people from just like mid-level 2. It has a stock swap and a 2-card Fumio with the Aqua. And just like a burn 5. It can leave your deck super uncompressed and has high kill range. But aside from that, one of the biggest downfall for Konosuba, like other decks, its level 0 lineup is kinda lackluster. You do not have the Sneaker Bunko or re-edit drop search that Japan has. So all your level 0 lineup is basically like a coin flip Megumin, the swimsuit Megumin. It's your like okay level 0.
I feel like this is like a reoccurring theme with a lot of these lower decks. It's just like level 0. Yeah, this level 0 sucks. Oh, okay.
Especially for one of the top decks compared to one of the top decks we'll see later.
I mean, two of our BDIF, like old BDIF decks, right? Were both bad level 0s, and now they're both like sub 10th place with like AOT and this.
Yeah.
So, and then I actually think level 0 is like a shining point, which is kind of funny because I think like Seven Deadly Sins has like one of the best level 0s in the game right now, but.
But do not underestimate the set. Sometimes we still just die from 2, 3.
Yeah. This deck has 3 ways to kill you, and it'll find the way. Spooky.
All right, in 10th place we have Sword Art Online Avatar Net Focus. This is with the second standby that they'll be getting in the upcoming Alicization Volume 2 set. 8 standby is known for its strong use of the money counter, the anti-damage counter. You're able to consistently get big walls that has memory kick on all of them, and then just having big walls makes you be able to abuse this powerful counter that's been seeing plays for years. It's one of the few sets that has this anymore because you don't really see them get printed, or if they do get printed, they get constantly nerfed. Aside from that, I think it's a pretty standard 8 standby deck. All it's really known for is its money counter. You do have a lot of utility at level 0 to constantly build hands with the Silica on stage and the Magi Lifa. Aside from that, that's it.
Decks. It's like, I feel like it's like the most vanilla 8 standby deck right now. Although, Kirito Brainstorm. That card's sick.
Kirito Brainstorm allows you to constantly beat over airports.
Yeah. That's like the sickest card.
Alright, in 9th place, just like Bofuri, we have Adventure Time with 74.89 points, but with 2 different builds. The first most notable one is 8 Standby, which we'll talk about first. It's unknown if people actually play Princess Bubblegum. Some people do, some people don't. It's very mixed, but it is a card that's notable. This card helps you trigger your standbys in 8 Standby, so unlike Sword Art, help you facilitate that.
It also buries them.
This card is also known for its memory. You are able to play a standby deck that can also build memory at the same time. You have your Slime Princess, your Berry Princess, and your With You events. It also has a very strong 2-1 assist that can give your board a global 1/5 basically. As well as a Brainstorm. Yeah. Also, a Brainstorm gets another 500. So your board that can, if you're playing the 1/1 version, you can actually get like 9/5 1/1s pretty early in the game, and your 2/2s hit.
While still having your Brainstorm on board too.
Yeah. Brainstorm hits 12/5. You can get some very big boards. Unfortunately, though, its finisher for some reason requires you to reverse characters. So if you're getting this big board, you're likely not getting much reverses. So your finisher kind of feels a bit awkward in that case.
You still get the shuffle back though.
Yeah.
So.
But at least she's like an 11k healer, so that's why she's included. And then sometimes you can still get the finisher off, maybe one lane.
I feel like getting the shuffle back is like still something, right? Like you just slam the standby, whatever. You get your shuffle back, and then you just attack 3 times for 3.
Yeah.
Maybe 4.
Yeah. That's the 8 standby build of Adventure Time. The 8 choice version, it plays more of a good stuff deck where you're just building up for your explosive top end. It is known for its Finn and Jake finisher, where it has high kill potential off of a burn 2 and then a cancel burn 1 if you're burn 2 or your regular attack is cancelled. So you're consistently able to finish your opponent off from 3-0. But unlike the 8 standby board, you do not, as 8 standby deck, you do not play for the mid game as well.
No, but you dunk on standby decks so hard in this deck. Or like any board based deck really can get dunked on pretty hard.
This deck is also known for its 2-1 counter. Was it Demon Bloodsword or something?
Mm-hmm.
Where it has the ability to just pop 2 of your opponent's characters back to their hands. So it's a good removal against like 8 standby decks. So it
has a bonder too.
Yeah, so that's one of the few leverages it has in the current meta.
I mean, it's like it could be like game-winning leverage. I think that's actually what makes this deck like playable. Like,
especially against 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, bouncing. Just remove their Elizabeth. You have 2 ways to bounce their Elizabeth if you want to play the bubblegum back row as well. But I also just think like mid game versus like Dal and stuff, you bounce their 2/2s, and sometimes like that's enough to just kind of ruin Dal.
All right, in 8th place, we're back in Sword Art Online, but this time it's Fluck-like focused, and this is specifically with its new sets getting in a couple weeks, I think.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I have no idea. The second just keeps getting delayed.
This was like supposed to come out like less than a month when you first started posting this.
So this set, it's known for its powerful level 1 combo. It's just pretty generic where if you just have experience condition, you can just salvage character. But the thing that makes it really strong, it has a 0/0 Asuna bonder to it that also gives it 1k on your turn and the ability to scry top card your deck on attack and then keep it or mill it. That effect is also stackable with multiple copies of Asuna. So your combo can actually be swinging for like 8/5 power and being able to manipulate your deck twice. And then you have extremely high selectivity. On the other hand though, well, your downside is your top end. You have to choose between 2 okay-ish top ends. The first version we go over is the 6 pants 2 Stoxo build. This gives you an access to a 11k 2/1 that when you reverse a character with a Stoxo, you can check top 4, add a character, then you can stock 2 characters from your waiting room to give you a bunch of stock and then replenish your hand back up. For the top end, you can either play the new Sinon combo or you can play the old Kira Yu-Gi-Oh! Both has their cases. Sinon does not require reverse, but Sinon requires you to hold specific cards into your hand. While Kira does not have to. This requires less to sculpt your hand, but does require reverse.
But I think what's notable is that Kira can push a lot more damage and help end the game with the event better than Sinon can.
It's also consistent damage, not RNG damage. Like Sinon, sometimes you can just burn 0.
Yeah, like Kira always gets a burn 1, and then if you have the ability to pay it, you can get the burn 3 as well. So it's like really synergistic. I think it also synergizes really well with the 2-1s, right? Because if they can't answer all 3 of your 2-1s, then that just makes your event even cheaper to play, which makes it more realistic to resolve your combo. Your combo draw drops. Deck doesn't really care about healing too much because it's like just trying to end the game. So,
but as mentioned, which we didn't actually go over, it was the new 3-4 event that Sao Alicization got. It has the ability to burn 1, burn 2, then burn 3 your opponent. Yeah. Kind of similar if you ever played Million Live back in Japanese meta.
This is a lot more expensive in terms of your hand though. It's because you have to sack 5 characters on board.
Yeah, but you have 2 back rows. And you don't carry your back rows anymore.
Sure, I guess if you look at it like that, if you're willing to give up the back row, then it's like the same cost but 3 less stock for a 1-2-3 instead of a 2-2-2.
Yeah,
card's really good. Like. Card is definitely one of those cards I think that people realized was good after
set came out.
After it came out, they're like, oh man, this is like a meme event. Kind of like 3-7 event actually. It's like, oh haha, sick meme, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, just kidding.
Right. On the other hand, there's the Pan's Choice version that people talk about. This version of the deck allows you to have access to more early plays, so you have more utility with your level 2 game with either check top X or early play healer compared to Stoxo build, and you're not reliant to have a extra CX in your deck that sometimes you might not find for whatever reason. Asuna as a finisher is pretty expensive though. It's a pay 2 dish 2, so just like the other top end, that's pretty expensive. This one is expensive for different reasons. But it's not as flexible as the old one. Because sometimes for the other build, you can either choose to play the event, just the event, and maybe 1 combo, or you just go all out with the combos. This deck, you're basically relying on you going double combo. You're hoping you kill your opponent off this. It's also pretty RNG, and it's based deck state dependent. Sometimes you just cancel too much. Now this card maybe burns 1 or 2. Maybe you just get a bad mill and you only burn 1 or 2. But sometimes when this card goes off, it can go off hard.
I think what's like really strong about this card, and something that Yue had said a while ago, was that this card is really sick because it can reward a really well compressed deck with like disgusting kill potential. And then at worst, if your deck sucks, if the mill's bad, it can like put you into a better deck state than you would have been at otherwise, right? Like you might burn all your resources, but like getting to live another turn is basically a restand 3, dude. Like that's pretty decent, I think. So it's like it's a pretty solid event because it doesn't always just kill you. Or kind of a solid combo because it doesn't always kill you, but then at the same time, if your deck's ever disgusting, like it can be really hard for your opponent to live through like that many ping 1s on top of 3 attacks.
So there's plus and downside of both top ends, but all you really need to know is you have a very strong level 1. Probably the best level 1 combo that English will have.
That Kirito's sick,
especially because of the bonder.
Yeah, the bonders will make it sick.
Alright, at 7th place, we're back again with Bang Dream, but this time with the extra boosters that we'll be getting on January, hopefully, as long as we don't get delayed. So even though we have new combos of the Nanami and Mashiro, the most noticeable card in the set is actually its new early play that the set got. It's basically just 11k early play of 2 less EP, 2 less climaxing and wave room condition. But there's a 2-1 Pareo that buffs it quite a bit, that really accentuates how strong the early play is. Because just one of the Pareo makes your early plays 13k with Twin Drive and was it Hexproof?
Yeah.
So now
and Twin Drive.
Hexproof, yeah, it's Hexproof, Twin Drive, and it becomes 13k with one Pareo. Any more Pareos become like 13k. Pareo herself actually becomes like a 10-5 hand encore, as long as you have an anti-reverse, so even better. Although anti-reverse doesn't matter too much actually. Anti like auto effect reverse from like bombs.
Damn, Ilya can't bomb it. Sad.
Now the reason why we changed these combo ups is because you're winning lane with your Pareo Choo Choo engine. You're often having empty lanes, and the best card to abuse that is the new Mashiro combo, where if your opponent cancels this card's damage, you can pay to send her to memory to summon another character to attack with, which could be herself or just any other finisher. Nanami, on the other hand, she has the powerful level 1 back row engine, where it can constantly change from being a plusing back row or into a relevant attacker. It gives you the ability to loop into Nanami herself. Also, yellow got some good cards with a 3/5 runner, and you could potentially play the yellow Azusa and the yellow search, the CX searcher.
Yeah, with Jinsu.
That's what the new set has to offer.
It's like fine. I think it's just like more stable than some of the other decks. I think 8 Door is pretty solid too, but more people are high on this, I guess.
I think this deck could change in English mainly because we do not have the ban list that Japan has.
Yeah.
So
8 Door with no ban list is pretty sick.
Currently, do not have to play. They don't play the stock swap, so they don't have to play red. But since we have the access to the stock swap and the Fumio, we're more inclined to play some red cards in Bang Jim. Maybe we'll just play Christmas Cosme in level 1, but still keep Mashiro. We'll find out. 6th place, we have Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation with 77.50 points. The 2 most popular builds is either the Choice Bar build or the Choice Pants build. Surprisingly, I didn't think Choice Bar would be rated so highly.
We shilled it. We shilled it into existence.
Yeah, me and Jason were high on it at first, but then after we spent some time playtesting with it, we actually found Choice Pants to be more consistent. Choice Pants is like probably going to be the best good stuff 1Q1 deck in the meta. You have a lot of cards to increase consistency. You have the ability to constantly loop your choice trigger, your choice combo. You have the ability to plus without combo. The ability to keep the stock clean all the time. You have strong early play. Well, you have okay early plays that plays like Kaguya finisher. And
great cheap combo.
You have a cheap, strong
plays in defensive counters.
You have a tap counter. So this is basically kind of like ReZero before the meta shifted, and they got the new set.
But like, probably still better.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And I think one of the best cards it has is a blue 1/0 event, where it lets you search a character and then discard one. You send the event to memory. Then when you level up, you can search again. There's a double hand filter for free, so it's kind of increases your consistency through the roof.
That card is just literally, I actually just broken. Like, I don't think there's like a better word for it. You would think that like the neg 1 early matters, but then it ends up just like never actually mattering.
And a lot of times you can just use it to bank an overhand, because sometimes when you play the game, sometimes you end your turn with 8 or 9 hand, or that event just lets you bank it.
Oh my god, yeah. If you ever like go in a turn or like you hit like a gross brainstorm early on, like a first deck, Thomas Im. You just pop off. They're just like, oh well, I'm just gonna snowball on you really hard, and you can't stop me. Like end up going into like the perfect level 1 board that you want, and then the Roxy also enables you to really like refill that hand if you like. You don't always want to, but early on, like you might be okay with like the 1 or 2 climax triggers, especially if they're like choices or the pants. It really doesn't matter. Just being able to help refill your hand, and then it makes the event even less punishing.
All right.
And the ability to just have everything you want is so gross.
On the other hand, we have the choice bar build, which plays more of a high roll deck, you would say. It's definitely less consistent. It's definitely less consistent because you need more parts at level 2, but it can be very strong.
It demolishes board-based decks.
Yes. Ruijerd is an early play if you have a specific card in clock. But
you're 35 free run. You're 35 center runner that you're gonna play in every deck anyway. Sick.
But he has the ability to make your opponent's board lose power when he's unplayed. Even the back row too. They lose 1k times their level for each Ruijerd you summon from hand. And he is also a true Mocha combo, so he's able to fix. It's able to help you push damage at level 2, as well as set up your own cancels on the following turn. He's also a healer too, or he has a changer that heals.
Like I think this will be like actual real play in English still. I think a lot of people the comments about this deck was like, yeah, this is really powerful, but like in JP you can just play Symphogear. Well, you're right, but English doesn't have Symphogear, but they have Ruijerd, and this combo is really strong. This combo will literally just like outright win you games, the moment it resolves on board. Without combo. Like sometimes you just like standby decks, you just like blow up their back rows and they can't do anything, and they just fall so far behind off it because you just answer their boards. They have to like hand encore their dudes, and Ruijers are like 10-5. Like he's still like a decent body without any supports, and if you kill him, then they can just loop him really easily. And they also opt to usually play the event back row too sometimes, which is really nice because it helps with the consistency, and it helps you like stock kick hard remove some of their cards as well in the standby matchups.
Yeah.
Deck's still good.
Those are the 2 builds of Mushoku. Hope to see them do impact the meta quite hard when they come out.
I hope so.
Unless Ruby and Tokyo Revengers has anything to say by then.
Yeah.
Or Hololive.
Backpackers, make Mushoku like $100. I'll buy it. Please.
Alright, in 5th place we have the current That Time I Got Reincarnated. It's a slime, we'll just call it slime for short. It's currently known for its Pants Door build, and we'll strictly talk about Pants Door for now. We actually have a slide for the second set, which will come out in, 2 weeks from now?
Is it really 2 weeks? Oh shit.
It comes out really soon, but because I've been procrastinating, this video should have been out 3 weeks earlier. Now we're like really close to it. But this specific build is known for its heal compression and heal spam and memory compression. It's basically a better version of ReZero right now. But you do not have as strong as a level 3 game, and you do not have as strong as an early play like in keyboard. But you're able to get more free memory, and you have easier time to spam out heals compared to ReZero.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. It just doesn't care about its stock. It just spends it to heal. That's it.
We'll give a note. This is the deck that I used to get top 8 at NA Nets. I mean, any BSFO.
Because you don't know how to play Dell.
No. I went 7-0 Swiss.
Yeah.
And I lost right away.
Unfortunate.
Alright, in 4th place we have the newly released set, Fate Stay Night. Well, not newly released, newly supported set. With Heaven's Field 2. This set comes at 4th place with 81.51 points, and it's known for either the 8-bar build or a bar door. So some players think the new Heaven's Feel Set 2 does not have a lot to offer, and you would just rather stay with the old 8-bar build. But there's some people who prefer having a actual top end, so they pick up the new Sakura finisher and play bar door now. Both version has a similar gameplay end from 0 to 2 though. They both have a Shiro clock on court that constantly makes all your level 0 and all your level 1s into pluses by you clocking yourself. You have great deck control and hand filter with the Azusa. And then at level 2 you have one of the most powerful cards in the game, I think, in the Free Fresh, where you can basically heal yourself 1 because you're not taking clock damage, and you also get a draw off of it. Now I see chats complaining like who picks 8-bar, but let me tell you, when I'll give you guys the results, there's actually quite a bit of people who answer 8-bar.
This is also before the set did come out, for what that is worth as well.
Yeah, the survey
this was like quite a bit before the set release, I think.
The survey was open before the set release, but then it was still open after the set released.
Yeah, but nobody cared. Nobody remembered enough to actually go around to their opinions.
But that's what the information that I got off the survey. So that's all I have to say.
I'm out here. I stand bar door, but I don't stand Sakura door. I'm all about the saber door.
Okay.
Yeah. Saber cancel burn. It's the way. That deck's sick.
I was like, wait, what are you?
Yeah, dude, it's sick. The deck's the top end's dope.
All right. On third place, we are back from 2 slides ago. With that time, I got reincarnated as a slime with 88.14 points, but this time with the Volume 2 booster. With the Volume 2 booster, we actually gained an introduction to 2 new decks, the 8 standby and an 8 choice variant. For a 1 minute, for like our 10-second discussion on Pants Door, basically that set just got some new zeros to make it more better.
And the event.
And a secondary way to kill your opponent. But aside from that, the gameplay is still basically the same.
I feel like that event's like huge.
And it's a 1-up for those decks.
Yeah, but it's like scary. Like you actually have a way to like actually kill people. You just do death grip it the second it hits your hand at like 2, and you just like, all right, I'm gonna use it. I swear. You just threaten it the whole game. Sick.
All right. The next thing to talk about is 8 standby. This deck has similar to Adventure Time. It's with a Bubblegum Princess and Adventure Time, where you have a twin drive level 1 that builds you a bunch of stock and helps you trigger your standbys. The set's also known for its powerful 2-2 Geld and its powerful 3-2 Benimaru, where they have dual usage as being good offense and back row standby targets, where you can use them both offensively and defensively. So no matter when you trigger them,
global.
Yeah, he's a global 1/5 with that's also a 10/5 himself, which has a on reverse burn too.
Well, it's because he doesn't buff himself, right? He buffs only everything else.
But yeah, but still
like, yeah, look at like Paul, and Paul's like, yeah, 15 to front row, but he's only a 10.
Paul doesn't even work from the back row too. Benimaru is a good standby target to keep the back row and the front row. Same with Geld, because he's also a field counter either. He's a field counter if he's in the back row, front row, but he's also a 9/5 body, so it's kind of insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's what 8 standby is known for, and it also has a really strong top end, which does have a reverse. Does need to reverse like Adventure Time.
It doesn't need to, right?
But it also has it has a secondary effect where it can still do damage by doing direct attacks. So that's really good for standby decks.
It's also just my issue is just that it can kind of lose to itself, right? Like we've all seen it. If this deck doesn't trigger like early standbys or find its standby combo, sometimes it feels really bad. But I think like the ceiling of this deck is just like disgusting for an 8 standby deck.
Alright, and the third variant that comes out with set 2 is the 8 choice build. This plays basically a more generic type of build where you just save up resources for your explosive top end. Rimuru, the new Rimuru finisher is a powerful card that allows you to do basically 6 attacks? 7 attacks.
7 attacks.
7 attacks at level 3. And sometimes you don't even need that much resources to do that.
Yeah, it's like technically 8 stock. Technically.
But since you're playing 8 choice, you can gain stock during the combo.
Yeah, with 7 attacks, you're likely to trigger like at least 1.
1 or 2, so you probably only.
I guess 6 attacks, right? Like,
yeah,
whatever.
6
attacks.
attack.
You need the 1 attack. In that realm, you're going to probably trigger at least 1.
On the downside, Rimuru does have a restriction on this condition where you can't. Where in order to get the extra attack off, you need to mill 2, and you cannot mill an event or a non-yellow climax. That's why we play the yellow Shion combo. She's like kind of okay. Full field salvage one, pretty standard. Nothing wild about it.
That's not standard. That sucks.
Some people think it's really bad, but I think it's okay with slime with how much waste.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine because like Ramorous and stuff exists.
Yeah.
Like you have actively have back row that you want to be committing early, so that's fine. And then you have Ramorous to help fill the board slots. So
on the downside is you can't play Mask, you can't play the Shizu combo, so you don't get the free memory compression like Pan Store does.
Oh, God, you can play Shizu combo.
You can't play if you can't play Shizu combo, you can't play the Shizu EP, so you can't heal spam as hard at level 2, like the Pan Store. But unlike Pan Store, who plays a stronger level 2 game, this deck is all about level 3.
This plays a pretty strong level 2 game, I think, because you have the Ranga Shion double EP.
It's not. I don't think it's as good as the Pan Store version. It plays a different style. You play for board. Lane. Yeah, you play for board, but you don't heal as often.
Yeah. Sure, you only get like 1 heal off that usually, like the turn after Shion pluses.
So which build should you play is basically depending on your playstyle. Do you like to play a more defensive compression to try to get your deck to a best possible position with Pan Store? Do you like your top end doing bunch of damage and just killing people?
Top end.
Yeah, you just play 8 choice. Or if you like playing a mid game type of deck where you're always controlling board and you have a semi-okay top end, you play 8 standby. See you guys. Alright, in second place, we have Kaguya-sama Love is War with 90.21 points. Now, in my last power ranking, this set recently came out and was actually rated pretty low on that tier list.
Yeah.
Or that set recently came out in Japanese. It didn't even come out in English yet. This set just came out not too long ago, actually.
Milk Tea saved it.
But as you can see, with sets that aren't released yet on this list, they have potential to go higher, as you see with Kaguya, who actually went from like a 9th place, I think, to 2nd place now. This set is known for its powerful level 0 game, especially with the K level 0, and strong, consistent top end with Kaguya. K is just an incredible card. Having a runner that's also clean cut allows you to get multiple pluses at level 0. And its Ricky is a card that can help facilitate your 2K runner clean cut, as well as your drop search. It also facilitates that. You play as level 1 standby combo just so you can potentially have a stronger level 2 board. And you have a lot of ways, even though you need reverses, you have a lot of ways at level 0 with your level 0s to pump your level 1 combo.
It just does everything. I love this deck, man. It can do whatever it wants.
Oh, the one card we did not mention though is the Shirogane early play. That's 14k cross turn? 14k cross turn with claw kick.
15-5, right? Usually because you have the 1/1 out.
Usually have the 1/1 out, so he's usually bigger. Well, that's a meta-defining card that helps Kaguya win standby matchups. But that's about it for 90 for Kaguya. Strong deck, strong consistent deck. That's a very strong level 0 and a good finisher and a strong early play. And now we have the first place deck. Probably have figured it out by now after seeing Kaguya. But we have Stay Alive at first place with 92.34 points, and then bumped up to 93.66 points with the extra booster. Originally, I had it two separate sets on the surveys, but since both of them were first and second, I decided to just combine and make them both first.
The EB didn't even have like a choice, I'm guessing, as like a.
It had mentions of a choice, but basically everyone's just said a standby still better.
Okay. I love a choice. I mean, that's so sick.
But this card is known as the Menace of English now. It won all 3 BSFOs. It had 25% total representation of all 3 BSFOs. And it had a total of 6 of the top 8s. Top 24s. Because it was 3 times 8, yeah, 24. One had even more. One had 4 tops, one had 2 tops, and one had 3 tops. So average 3. So 9 tops total.
That's pretty gross.
9 out of 24. Yeah. Stay Alive, the current menace in English. It is known for its ability to. Its level 0 lineup is okay. It's not really anything good, but it helps facilitate the standby deck a lot. It has powerful level 1s in the 1/1 Yoshino Bomb that helps you defend your board, as well as the 1/0 Toka that power pumps your board, and also gives you a defensive scry during your opponent's turn if you can win the boards. Top End Krimi is a very strong, well, not strong at killing, but strong as in it has multiple usages at a very low cost. Both of them do not cost any stock, so you can focus using your stock to help you gain advantage throughout the game. And then you have the ability, you basically force your opponent to never leave a 1 card, 2 card, low card deck, basically. But yeah. Probably see this set a lot during Pushy Rumble Online. You probably see this set a lot during your shop challenges. And unlike Japan, which has the ban list to neuter this set, as well as multiple sets that are good against this deck, we do not have the same options in English currently. But we'll find out if this deck can still pull out triple tops, triple first place the upcoming Bushy Rumble Online.
Yeah, deck's just icky.
And now that we finished our list, I compiled all the results and we made a little tier list.
Wow.
So as you can see, the blue text are sets that aren't released as of this video stream. But we have tier 1 being Dao, Kaguya, and Slime. Then you have a 7-point gap into Fate. And you set 1 Slime with like a 10-point gap from set 2 Slime. Mushoku and Brain Dream rounds out the tier 1.5. I consider tier 1 as like the meta of the finers. And tier 1.5s are like really good decks in the meta. But probably you won't be specifically teching exactly for them. Tier 2 is also good decks, but not as good as tier 1.5 obviously. But these are decks that you could probably find yourself getting at the top in the upcoming tournaments. Tier 2.5 is in the awkward space where it's not as bad as tier 3s, but it's also not as good as tier 2s. I basically found some cut-up points between the points. I think here I didn't get at least a 70 point, being tier 2. This one you want to be above 75, be a tier 1.5 then. Tier 1's above 85. That is all for the video. Thanks for watching.